Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video. Today I have June's Scrap 5 challenge, so we needed to make something colorful or that used the rainbow. We had to incorporate bling, we had to use flowers, we had to use at least one circular element and at least 3 photos. So this page is really exciting for me because it's the first page using P13's I almost said Moonstruck, New Moon and Soulmate collections. I think there's one other collection Christina also threw in, but this is my How to Kill a Kit with Style for this month. I'm so excited. This is the first page I'm using, digging into this kit. I don't know if it's the first page you're seeing, because I can't remember if I posted one before this one or not, but this is the first one chronologically I have made, and I stared at these products for a good long time before I was able to cut into them, and I will tell you guys, I'm already being wimpy about these products because I'm hoarding them, and we are going to use them all this month. It's How to Kill a Kit with Style. There's no salvaging. I'm going to get it all killed, but I'm being very wimpy about cutting into them this early on. So you will see I've made 3 pages so far as of doing this voiceover, and I'm about to voice over all 3 of them. All 3 of them I have pulled in other papers from other collections to try and stretch the products I do have farther. So I am loving this moon paper. That's going to be my background. I really liked the other side, which is the dark sky with the moons. But for whatever reason, when I started working with this paper, I was really drawn to using this lighter version. So this is going to be my background. You can see I have 3 photos there per the challenge, and I just matted them all on some scrap piece of white paper. I'm distressing all of the edges, and I'm pulling in this constellation paper, which is from the collection, but I was really scared to cut into it. Not scared, but I loved both sides of this paper, and I was worried using these 2 papers, which are 2 of my favorites. I mean, I love all the papers that Christina sent me, but I love these 2 especially. And it was really, really hard for me to cut this constellation paper when I love the pink side of this as well, but this being the first page and me using this much of my favorite papers right away. So you will see me pull in One Canoe 2's Constellation from their Creekside collection. It's very, very similar. It looks more like the constellation pattern that comes in Wolfpack, but it's a navy constellation. It went with these products, and that way I could save the constellation that came in this actual collection for another layout. You will see that a lot this month. I am trying to stretch and see how many pages I can get out of this collection. I was sent 9 12 by 12s, and I'm really trying to push myself to make more than 9 layouts. So in order to do that, I got a supplement somewhere with pulling in some other papers. So you'll see that. I still have the constellation from the Soulmate collection pulled out here. I love this paper, but you'll see me pretty soon pull out a different constellation, and that is from One Canoe 2's Creekside collection. Here I'm just making a little cluster. I'm avoiding cutting this constellation paper, and I knew I wanted to make a really cool embellishment cluster with one of these banners that comes in this collection. So I kind of set that aside. I'm like, I'm going to avoid cutting this for now and just do something I know I want to do. So I'm creating a cute little cluster here. I have one of the banners from Soulmate. I'm layering up a couple things. I have a moth tag from the Soulmate collection. I'm using some thread. I'm throwing a banner on there, and I'm just trying to create a really cool cluster. I'm using a lot of elements that I've seen the design team members from P13 do. I really, really love the style of P13 products, and it's not something I really consider my style, but it's something I was really, really drawn to. One of their designers specifically, Martha, I have just adored everything she has made. There's so much texture, there's so many layers, and I just really, really am drawn to that style. So I'm trying to infuse that a little bit into my pages this month. Actually, right here, I'm going to cut and show you a couple of things that she's made that's really inspired me, just so you can see where I'm coming from this month. So hang on a second, let me grab those. Okay, here they are. So here's a couple of the projects that she's made that I just adored, and I wanted to show you really quick just so you can see where I was pulling my inspiration. She showed these products on scrapbook.com, as well as obviously on P13's blog. You can also find them if you Pinterest search P13, especially Soulmate and New Moon. But I just thought those were the coolest projects, and there was just so much detail she put into those projects that I really wanted to try and take that and try some new things this month. So things like doing these thread bundles and the layering and fussy cutting. I do little bits, but not like she does. So I was really trying to push myself to make my clusters similar to those projects you just saw. And I'm really, really pleased with how this little banner turned out. I just backed it on a glassine bag. The little florals I added was actually fussy cut from the business card you guys would have seen in the kit share. I went ahead and fussy cut all of those elements from their business card, and I'm going to try and use those all this month too. But I just love how that little cluster came together. I think it's so cute. I'm going to add a little bit more to it. But yeah, I thought that was a great starting point for trying to pull her style in. And here you can see my Creekside constellation. Not as nice as the constellation that came in this collection. I love One Canoe 2's Creekside constellation, but it's very One Canoe 2 style. But it'll go, it's a constellation paper, and that way I can hoard that other one a little longer. I'm really going to be using my Tim Holtz Distress tool a lot this month too. That's another thing that the P13 designers really do a lot, is pull texture in with distressing. I think I mentioned this in the kit share, is their projects are all very papery and very flat. It's stickers and banners and paper products. There's not a lot of dimensional, like actual embellishments like acrylic, wood veneer, that kind of thing. So they really bump up the texture within their paper stuff by doing these crazy layers, the thread, the stitching, the distress papers, and I just really, really, really liked that. So you can kind of see where I'm going here with my design now. I wanted to have these 3 photos together on the constellation paper at the top of the page. I wanted to have this cluster here on the bottom left part of the page. So this is what I'm building from here. I'm trying to figure out spacing wise where this is going to go, because I am going to be a gutting maniac this month. This is one of those months where I'm going to try and hoard and save every little scrap that's going to be covered to try and stretch. Sorry, Billy's drinking water again in the background if you can hear that. And again, here are these little mirror looking water droplet enamel dots that I got from In Love Art Shop. I pulled those in. I thought those would be a fun little touch. Christina pulled a lot of cool things into this collection. So I have all the goodies she sent me off to the side, but I feel like these water droplets were a really cool touch on this page. So here you can see me tracing where my layers are going to cover, because I'm going to be gutting everything. So bear with me this month, but the goal is to see how many projects I can use with this collection, because I love it and I want to get as much made with it as possible. So unfortunately for you, that means sitting through watching me gut every little piece, but it will be worth it. I can't wait to the end of the month. Like, I've only made 3 pages as of right now. I know this is the first one, maybe the second one that you've seen, but I can't wait to the end of the month and to see what all I made with this kit, because it's already, I'm having so much fun. But you'll see this a lot this month too. I can already tell you. I'm just patching the gaps with some scrap piece of black paper, just so I have, a backing to glue this stuff to, and it also helps with stability. So you'll see that. Christina also threw in this mother of pearl nouveau embellishment mousse, so I really wanted to get that on here as well. So I'm just pushing that through a stencil. I wanted this gold to be in a couple places. I should mention though, because one really obvious thing with this Scrap 5 challenge is the first item, which is colorful and rainbow, and I had to use this collection. I couldn't get this collection and not use it. So I did ask the ladies that are on the Scrap 5 team if the one photo of that K2 meter could count as rainbow, and if that was cheating or if that was colorful enough. And I got the okay, because there are colors in the color of the rainbow in that one photo. So that's how I'm eking in with that recipe item, because I know this collection is not rainbow. It's very monochromatic blue tones, especially this page. I mean, there are pinks and browns and other stuff in my kit, but this page specifically is very blue. So I kind of wanted to make sure that that photo was enough rainbow and color to be able to count for that item, and they gave me the okay, but I know that's kind of pushing it. But I couldn't not use this collection, so I'm very grateful they let me get away with that. I should probably tell you about these photos in this page, because it's a really cool story. You'll see me, this collection, first of all, it is so, I mean, you heard me talk about it and gush about it in my kit share already, but it's so creepy, cool, beautiful. I love it so much, but it just it felt like it was perfect to document paranormal stuff, just because there is a lot of moons and things like that, and these creepy beetles that you can see me fussy cutting one of the beetles right now. Yeah, I I just thought it would be great for documenting some more creepier things. So Marcus and I went to St. Augustine in Savannah last Labor Day weekend, and we went to a bunch of different haunted places just because it's a very haunted area in general, and you really can't go there and not even accidentally visit some of these places. But these photos in particular are from the St. Augustine Lighthouse, which has been featured numerous times on Ghost Hunters. I'm pretty sure Ghost Adventures went there. There's a lot of paranormal shows that have investigated it, but the one that really stands out in my mind is Ghost Hunters, because I remember being like little and watching the first time they went there, and they got some crazy evidence. If you want to Google that afterwards, I'm sure you can find a clip of what they recorded in this lighthouse. But yeah, we went here to investigate on one of their ghost tours. So that was really cool. I've been to the St. Augustine Lighthouse before, but it was during the day just as a normal touristy thing. Marcus had never been here before, so his first time was to do this investigation. But it was really cool. So we started out with the tour. They gave us a tour of the keeper's house and the museum and all of that, and then they kind of gave us the background of all the paranormal stuff that happened and what they've caught and what's been the most recent stuff, kind of updated us on all of that, and then they set us loose to just split into, you know, our one or two people or our groups or however we wanted to do it, and go to separate areas and do solo investigations. That was really cool. So that right photo there is my K2 meter. That middle photo is me laying at the bottom of the lighthouse looking straight up through the stairwell. That should look familiar if you have seen Ghost Hunters, because leaning over one of those platform railings was where they saw a shadow person. This is so creepy. You guys are going to get a really creepy side of me this month, so you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. But that's where that photo is from. I really wanted to get that shot just because that really reminded me of the show. And then the other one is just a cool picture I took of the stairs that I pulled from my Snapchat from when we first got there. But it was really cool being here at nighttime. It was just a whole different, experience than coming during the day. I just wanted to document this. I have another page of the lighthouse that shows the actual outside of the lighthouse, but for this first page I wanted to document this because I had the colorful K2 meter and I felt like that would go best for my Scrap 5 challenge, especially because these 3 photos went together and I needed 3 photos. So now that I've kind of all got that together, I did add some distressed vellum into my layers with the photos because I thought that needed some more layery something. And now I'm trying to get together a cluster that kind of mimics the really cool one I was proud of on the bottom left. This page I got kind of stuck because I was really proud of this banner cluster I have on the bottom left side of the page, and then I couldn't figure out what else to do on this page. I was like, I'm so proud of this one area, I just want to make the rest of the page look like that. So that's kind of where I started. I just started pulling things in to create a second cluster that kind of had the similar elements of the cluster I already liked. So I pulled in one of those tags from Soulmate. I fussy cut this really cool floral that has a beetle in it, which I thought was so cool and creepy. I layered that on a banner, and I did some stitching because I thought, why not? I'm already pulling thread in. I think stitching would add an additional layer of texture. So I just did a back stitch down the middle of that banner. And now I'm just trying to add some more layers and dimension. So I'm popping that little beetle up on some foam. I don't actually think I'm using foam. I think I'm just backing it with pieces of the branding strip to kind of make it just a little bit bigger. I'm trying to avoid using foam so much because it almost gives my pages too much dimension, and then I have issues getting the amount of pages I want into my binders, my albums. So I'm hoping that if I can just do a couple paper layers with like branding strips and scraps, I can get that dimension without actually making the page super thick. So that's what I'm doing right now. But yeah, I had so much fun with this page and kind of trying this new style that I learned from Marta, who's the design team member that I was really looking at. All those projects were hers that you saw earlier in the process video. But yeah, right now I'm just playing with this secondary cluster to try and get it up to the level of my other cluster. I can't tell if I put it on there or not, but I do have that really cute white acrylic heart that Christina included in the kit. That's going to be in that banner cluster to the bottom left. But I just think that looks so cute. I was so proud of myself. And I giggled in my head, but then Marcus giggled out loud when he saw this photo because I didn't know if it was in poor taste to use this banner on the bottom because it says you only live once, and we're like doing paranormal investigations with, ghosts technically. So, but I thought it was kind of a play on words, and it's my page, and Marcus thought it was funny, so hopefully that's not in poor taste. I thought it was a fun play on words. But yeah, I'll end up going and using some word stickers too from that sticker sheet you see to the left. But before I do anything else, I just wanted to get the second banner down so you can see I got that on there. I added a little word sticker that says shine bright. I really like the let's do this I added to the bottom left hand corner, and now I'm using those little water droplet enamel dots just so that's pulled into that cluster as well. But yeah, I guess I should mention I did decide to pull that vellum up there because I like the way that vellum adds in general a texture and a layer, but I thought it pulled the look of the glassine bag from the bottom cluster up there as well. So that's kind of why I really decided to use it. But here I am gutting again because there's a huge chunk of that amazing moon phase paper that's going to be covered. So I wanted to make sure I definitely saved that because this paper is so cool and I like both sides of it. So I have a chunk of that to use on a future page. I don't know if I'm going to use the same lighter side or if I'm going to try and get the darker side on the page because I really like both sides. But we'll see. At least I have it for later so I can figure that out at another time. And again, I'm just going to patch this hole with a scrap piece of paper just to make it a little bit more substantial for when I get all my layers glued down. But I think I'm done with my paper layers now. I'm pretty happy with my 2 clusters. I'm just trying to get these main elements glued to the page. I love the way that embellishment mousse looks behind these layers too, just that soft shimmer of gold. The color, Christina told me this color went really well with this collection, and it's not one I would have thought to pull in, but it does. It's a gold, but it's not an in-your-face blinding gold that's distracting. It's this soft, light, fluffy gold, and it just looks so cool behind all of these layers. So I really like how this looks here. Now I'm thinking I need to do a title. I also had some gold puffy stickers that Christina included in this kit from the Secret Not Secret Kit Club, so I'm pulling those in. I think that's from a crepe paper collection from Magical Forest. I love those puffy stickers. So I'm just going to title this Investigate. This is actually the second page from the lighthouse because the first page will be the front of the lighthouse, but this is the first one I'm scrapping. So on this page I wanted to document the actual investigation part of it, and then the first page will just have the actual lighthouse stuff. But yeah, I thought Investigate was a good title. There was other titles I was thinking of, but I was really trying to be cautious not to completely kill my sticker sheet really early on. And at first I thought I was done, but then I was like, no, you definitely need to do journaling on this one because I think this will be a better page to journal about the investigation stuff instead of the other one. So I'm just going to draw lines here really quick. I'm using my Stampin' Write marker. This one's called Not Quite Navy, which coordinates beautifully with this collection. And I'm just journaling pretty much what I already told you about this place. It just says, ever since I saw the TAPS team investigate the St. Augustine Lighthouse on Ghost Hunters as a kid, I always wanted to visit and investigate myself. Tonight, Marcus and I got our chance. After a tour, history lesson, and rundown of the previous paranormal experiences, we were set loose to do our own investigation. We set off with our K2 meter and video voice recorders, hoping to capture something. Alas, it was a quiet night, but still quite the experience. Yeah. Spoiler alert, nothing happened. We didn't capture anything, but yeah, it was really cool. It was something different. Yeah, it was just a bucket list thing I really wanted to do when we got there because I've been to St. Augustine once before with my mom and my brother and my sister, and we had a lot of fun, but we didn't get to do this, so it was definitely something I wanted to do this time around. But yeah, now that I got my journaling, I'm just trying to do finishing touches. I'm trying to dip into a little, I want to do a little bit of everything that Christina sent me on this page. There's a couple things that I am saving for future layouts. I didn't get any of like the wood veneer or the charms on here because I'm already pulling in like the fussy cut business card and a bunch of the stickers and the acrylic hearts, and then I use the water droplet enamel dots, but I'm trying to see what else I can, like sticker wise. I really wanted to dig into all of the sheets, so you saw me get another banner in that one cluster. That one just says tonight, and now I'm fussy cutting around this sticker here. I actually wasn't thinking about doing this until I saw that one project that Martha did, and she'd fussy cut the sticker to use in a layer, and I thought it looked so cool that way, so I'm doing that as well, and that's going to get tucked in with the beetle cluster. But yeah, I just am so tickled with how this layout, it was just so cool, and the experience and the products and just reliving it with this supplies, I'm so happy about this page. I had so much fun doing it, and once I finally got started, I was happy because I stared at these products for a really long time before I actually decided to start cutting. I feel like that happens a lot to me when I first get a collection that I'm in love with. It's so hard for me to just get started. So yeah, once I finally got over that and started cutting, I had so much fun. But I think we're almost done here. I did go back to that sticker sheet to pull in a few of those gold asterisks just to pull that deeper gold into another area. But here are the close-ups. So this one's done. I got my rainbow EKG on there. I got my bling with the gold texture paste and the enamel dots. I got flowers from my fussy cut sections. I got a circle element and 3 photos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.